Okay, I got the equipment set up. Hello, everyone listening. Okay. I guess you really are insane. All right. We're sitting down here to talk about something. Let me look. I got a text message here at 3 a.m. Yesterday. I thought you were dying. Let's see now. It's this frantic unhinged thing. It says the timeline. We got to talk about the timeline. Oh my god. I figured it all out. Sent at 3:03 a.m. Brian, what the fuck are we sitting here talking about today?
The Friday the 13th timeline. I wish we did this sooner because there was only one Friday the 13th this year and it was back in May. But I just didn't think to do it then. But it's a topic I've been wanting to talk to you about for fucking years. Because you know Friday the 13th, right?
Okay. Yes, I do know. Yes.
Okay. It doesn't all take place in the 80s.
No, it spans from 1980s something to the early aughts to like 2010 was the most recent.
Well,
2010ish.
Are you talking about when the movies came out?
Yeah, when the
movies came out. Yes, I'm talking about in universe.
Yes,
timeline.
In universe they spread out.
It's, like in bizarre ways.
Yeah, Jason's like a old haggard man.
Theoretically, Jason's like 63 when he fights Freddy.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah,
It's
very confusing.
Do you want me to start off with this?
So let me start off. Okay, so welcome everyone to Heavy Crow Movie Show bonus episode. We are not talking about just one movie or specifically any attributes about a franchise, except for the gestalt of the timeline that is the slasher Friday the 13th series.
It could be worse. I could go into the 8 different timelines of Halloween.
That'll be another bonus episode. So
the multiverse of Michael Myers.
Let me set the tone here. Sure. Okay, so it's late 70s to early 80s. American audiences are shifting. Life is shifting. More serial killers and wacky cults are in the news. The news is becoming a 24-hour cycle. Violence is everywhere in our media, and audiences are yearning for blood. People are horny and bloodthirsty. People are wearing shorter shorts. 80s really did usher in what the 70s brought in is sex, drugs, and rock and roll was king. People are on coke and doing business, and the kids are out all summer in skimpy little outfits, doing drugs and having sex. And one little thing is in the news. AIDS. STDs are on the rise, and people are afraid of getting this very serious disease. So all these kids are out there, they're having sex, being promiscuous, and they want death and carnage in a nice, cool AC, air-conditioned movie theater because
I doubt a lot of them were back then.
No, that was the big draw thing in the 80s was that they're air conditioned now. And people are looking for a good scare because the Cold War wasn't scary enough for them. So they want blood on television.
They want something to hit home.
Yeah. So seeing how popular Halloween and Texas Chainsaw was, people want something a little bit dumber in concept, something more easier to follow, something to make out to while you're seeing tits and blood. So here comes Friday the 13th in 1980.
Yes, the franchise that is really what I think of a slasher is Friday the 13th. Now, again, like Steve said, we're not going to review the movies. That's for a way different date. What we're going to go over is when these movies take place, because I thought about it, and they have a very bizarre timeline. Because there's so many, like, they almost came out every year. Friday the 13th.
Yeah, they're the original annual franchise almost.
Yeah, I think it was like the first one to really do it.
But before Marvel and before a lot of the other staples of like you expect one every year, here comes the horror slashers.
And here, more specifically, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to start? When Jason's born? Because that actually wasn't discovered till later.
Let's just go with chronological time.
Okay, so the first movie actually takes place in 1979.
Okay.
How you know this? Because, and I'm going to jump into this I'm going to jump back to this when we get to part 4. Okay. But in part 4, there is a tombstone of Pamela Voorhees, the killer in the original movie. She's killed in 1979. This is when the movie was filmed. It wasn't released till 1980 to avoid any sort of mix-ups with Halloween. You know, it was a direct rip-off of Halloween.
Well, everything's a direct rip-off of something else. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah. So, in 1979, a series of murders take place from Pamela Voorhees killing a bunch of people, and she gets, her head Highlander.
Yeah, she's taking revenge for the death of her son,
Jason Voorhees,
which was a few years before.
Actually, it was almost 20 years before.
Yeah, so
he died in 1957.
Okay.
Which we don't find out when he died until I think like in the first movie it tells you like 1958, right? When like these two murders happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get the idea it's 1957, but it's not until actually I think Freddy versus Jason that tells you not only Jason's age when he died, but when he died. He was 11.
Yeah.
When he died.
Yeah, I remember that scene well for
some reason. It just stands out.
No, there's a reason.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Seeing Freddy clap his cheeks against some woman really is a searing image when you're 12.
God, that movie's dumb.
That left
that movie is going to be out of the timeline. Or it's in the timeline, but it's also like out of order in the timeline.
Yeah, it's just, you know what? Here's your soapbox. Here's your megaphone. Here's your red string.
All right, here we go.
Go on, buddy.
Okay, this might be a kind of a shorter video because I've mapped everything out. 1979, Pamela Voorhees gets murdered. Okay, about 6 months later, the person who murdered her disappears. Right? Okay. Jason Voorhees, as an adult, killed her. We're not going to explain how Jason's alive. Just don't worry about it.
He's alive.
Magically, he's alive. So then we jump to 5 years later in 1984. Yes, 1984. Part 2 takes place. Short version: a counselor training center opens up. Jason gets pissy about it and kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Jason gets beat up at the end. And part 3 takes place. Now, part 3 is the oddball, because it never tells you exactly when it takes place, other than if you watch the beginning and you knew how part 2 ended. So it's literally the next day.
So you're already confused. So the first one,
I know,
takes place
in 1979.
79. We cut to a few years later.
5 years later.
5 years later. Okay.
You find this out through a character named Paul in part 2.
Okay.
He says it's been 5 years since the Crystal Lake Massacre.
And then the third one takes place
a day later.
A day later. Okay. Yeah, following along, ladies and gentlemen.
So far we're in 1984.
Okay.
All right. So here's the established points in timeline. 1946, Jason's born. 1957, Jason died. 1958, Crystal Lake is closed because of 2 murders. So then Pamela Voorhees does some stuff throughout the 70s. No one cares. 1979, she murdered like 12 people.
Okay.
All right. She murdered like a bunch of people. She gets murdered herself. Now, the person who murdered her, Alice, disappears from her home about 6 months later.
She live around the area, or
I guess. Well, she lives in the Crystal Lake area, but it's not established how Jason knew where she lived.
Whatever.
It's just he must have looked up a phone book like Arnie and Terminator.
Maybe there was like a file cabinet in the camp. I don't know.
Just picturing Jason Voorhees
just rummaging through the office, going,
like, God damn it, where is it? What was her name? Okay, that was her. Yeah, that was her. I'm gonna get her. Where'd she live?
Yeah.
Nope. All right, can't find her. All right, screw it. Mission's over. So Jason Voorhees is now the killer. Okay, so we now have Jason Voorhees. Pamela's dead, rotting away. Her head was never buried, by the way. He took it.
He's got like a little head shrine
In the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
in his little.
It's
meth
never
shack.
brought up again. It's never brought up again in any of the sequels. Believe me, I've seen all of them. It's never addressed. Her missing head. But there will be a discrepancy when we get to part 5. We'll worry about that later, because we're also going to dive into the books a little bit for part 5.
There are books.
Yes, novelizations of the movies. I'm going Patton Oswalt filibuster here.
Okay.
Just let me do this. So, all right, Paul and his friends get murked by Jason in 1984. It's on, I believe, Friday the 13th, June Friday 13th, 1984, or it could be July. I forget where exactly it takes place. Next day, Saturday, Chris Higgins and her friends go to her little family's resort place in Higgins Haven, and they all get murdered, except for Chris, who axes Jason in the head with an axe. Now, this is presumed where Jason dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, he don't. So, now we jump to the next day, Sunday, and then the day after that, Monday. So this takes place all in a weekend. 3 movies take place over a weekend.
So we got 3, 4, and 5 here.
No, we got 2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4.
Take place over a weekend.
Okay.
Over like 3 or 4 days. Tommy Jarvis, a little 12-year-old, remember him.
Yep.
Tommy's going to be important to the timeline.
We're gonna put him in our pocket right now.
We're putting him in our pocket, our little hockey mask pocket. But he is literally key to the timeline. Okay?
Okay.
I am not fucking with you. He could be like the most important aspect of this timeline.
Okay.
All right. Remember his age. He is 12 years old.
He is 12 years old.
He is 12 years old currently in 1984 in Friday the 13th Part 4. Okay, got it. So, Jason goes on his usual killing spree after waking up in a coroner's office where he's salty about stuff for obvious reasons. He's got a big boo-boo in his head. He kills presumably the entire coroner's office. It's never established who exactly. I mean, we see him kill at least 2 people. But he couldn't have just waltzed out of there.
Maybe.
I mean, he may have. I don't know. It's a small town, so I mean, he could have easily just ghosted.
If you saw that walking around, are you going to stop it?
No, I'm just going to turn around and walk away.
I'm going to just
I don't know what's
I'll
happening.
keep mopping the other
He's
direction.
bleeding from a hockey mask. I think he's a fugitive in the news. I am leaving that alone.
I'm not even going to flinch.
I'm leaving that alone. I'm
just
getting my car. I'm going to drive away.
I'm going to just keep sitting here with
It's like how I would give Rambo a sandwich. I'm just going to leave that alone after that.
Yeah.
Give Rambo his sandwich. Leave Jason alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 rules of the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tommy Jarvis murders Jason Voorhees, I believe, on Sunday or Monday night in 1984. He murders him.
Okay.
Kills him dead. And he is dead. Okay. Now, remember how I said Tommy was 12?
Yeah.
Well, now he's roughly 17 years old. So a couple years have passed. So now we go from 1984 to what is it?
Wait. Did he just instantly go from 12 to 17?
Yes. Because in part 5, he's 17.
These are different movies now.
Yes.
Okay.
In part 5, he's 17. So let's see. Hold on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 6 years have passed. So that's
5 to 6 years.
85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. We're in 1990 already.
Okay.
We're in 1990.
So are we...
Real life, we're in 1985.
So what happened to part 4? Or is part 4 later?
Part 4 is done.
Okay, we did part 4.
We did part 4. Jason's dead.
Okay.
A paramedic named Roy Burns goes on a killing spree at a mental health treatment facility, disguised as Jason Voorhees.
Because he,
Why? It's never really established.
Because we need to make another one.
Yeah, it was literally like, well, Jason's dead, but we need to make another one, and he prints money, so let's just have a guy dress up as him. Okay, whatever. It's dumb. Roy gets taken out. Roy's murders take place actually over a course of a few days in 1990, but it's not established when this exactly happens. I think it's supposed to be like summer. Well, it is summer, but it's over the course. We're going to say July of 1990. I'm just picking out July because July is we film. So
do we have like an exact time?
No.
So it's sometime in 1990.
Yes, the film does not establish that it's 1990 now. We're just doing this because we know math.
So they don't establish the year.
They never established the year any of these take place.
We assume it's probably summer.
Yes.
So
Well, we know it's summer because there's a kid there. I forget his name off the top of my head. I think it was like Reggie or something. And he's there visiting his grandfather who works there for the summer.
Okay, so let's say it's like July.
Yeah, let's just say it's midsummer. Everyone's having fun. It's 1985 or 1990. Woohoo! Kurt Cobain's about to be huge, but not for another couple years yet.
No, that's about when he was here.
Well,
too.
I mean, in film timeline, we're not talking about real timeline.
Yeah.
Real timeline, it's only 1985. In film timeline, we're in the future.
So we're already 5 years in the future from time of movie coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, roughly 6, but yes.
Okay.
So, it's 1990. Yeah, let's just go with 1990. Roy Burns gets killed, and then there's no exact establishment of time from parts 5 to 6. However, the film Friday the 13th Part 5 establishes that Jason Voorhees was cremated. He was cremated. He was not in Part 6. The film version of Part 6 explains that Elias Voorhees, Jason Voorhees' father, paid for Jason Voorhees to be buried rather than cremated at the last second. Meaning that this little goof... So at some point, Elias Voorhees pays for Jason Voorhees to be buried.
Mm-hmm.
Elias never appears in the film. He was cut from the film. He was supposed to appear... He was cut. All right, whatever. Who cares? We can just say that Jason killed him at some point.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, whatever. I doubt they were close. So, now it's been a couple years. Tommy is supposed to roughly be 17 and 19 or possibly even 20.
So he was 17 last time we checked on him.
Now he's possibly 20. He's at least 18 because he's out of the system. So it could be a year, but it doesn't seem like it's been a year since Roy's massacre. It seems like it's been longer. The events of Roy are never brought up.
So
never.
Let's go with... So it's been 3 years. So it's like 1992.
Yeah, we can just say it's 1992.
Yeah, let's say it's like 1992.
All right, so it's 1992. Camp Crystal Lake has been renamed to Forest Green, okay?
Because that's how you deal with a problem.
Literally, yeah. They just wanted to forget all that Jason shit, so they renamed it. Tommy arrives sometime around June to Forest Green and goes to dig up Jason to blow him up or light him on fire. I'm not really sure what Tommy's plan was here, but he digs up Jason. Something goes horribly wrong.
So I can probably answer that. If he's going to burn the body, that's how you get rid of an evil spirit.
This was actually led to a theory about Tommy. Because both times, at the end of parts 4 and 5, Tommy has this dead... Well, actually, at the end of part 5, he's wearing Roy's hockey mask and has a knife, but nothing ever happens. We assume. Part 4 had the Deadeye stare. Like, he just had that empty, soulless stare. It's possible, because we will get into this when we get to part 9, that Jason Voorhees' soul was trying to possess him.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll get into that later.
Like I said, he's always been an evil spirit in my mind.
Yeah, I believe that. Like, something was just evil about him.
No, it's like he died and he
his soul became corrupted.
Yeah, and that's why he came back as a man, even though he died as a little boy.
Oh,
that's just always been my experience.
Yeah, I like that. We're gonna go with that. All right. So right now we're in what 92? We said.
Yeah, that's Tommy around that. Yeah.
Tommy tries to dig up Jason.
What movie?
Part 6.
Okay, we're in part 6.
We're on part 6, which takes place in 1992. So far, if you're following along,
okay.
Part 6 is in 1992. Part 5 was in 1990. Part 4 takes place in... Parts 2, 3, and 4 take place in 1984. And Part 1 took place in 1979. Okay. We know 1979 is official and 1984 is official because of a line of dialogue and Pamela Voorhees' tombstone.
Yeah.
We know these two things are at least official. So now we're in 1992. This is where we're in uncharted waters a little bit. The franchise never establishes when these movies actually take place. They assume the 80s, but if you do math, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, if you're doing math, it's
in the future.
Yeah,
it's straight up in the future.
You could fudge the numbers to 1991 if you
But then it's going to lead
Math.
to a problem when we get to part 7.
Yeah.
Part 7 has the loosest of the timelines.
Yeah. So let's bank and say we are currently in 1992.
All right, 1992 is another fixed time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at a fixed point in the timeline.
Yeah.
Takes place over a couple of days. Tommy, meets this hot sheriff star chick. She helps him with Jason. She actually believes that Jason's alive.
Yeah.
Because he accidentally resurrected Jason. Because apparently Tommy's never seen Frankenstein, and didn't think when he put the metal rod inside Jason Voorhees' body after stabbing it with a PTSD moment.
So here's the thing. That body's been dead for a while, and lightning doesn't actually do shit to bring you back.
Well, he lives in a world where a dude in a hockey mask got axed in the head and still kept going for like 3 days.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
For 3 days?
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
He got axed in the head.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
He lost a lot of blood.
Adrenaline is a hell
He ain't
of a
running on
drug.
adrenaline, man. He's running on supernatural boogie juice.
Yeah, no, he's always been way too, I'm like...
There's no way he survived any of the stuff.
I mean,
Part 3, he got hung.
I've seen people, get shot and keep going on, PCP and whatnot, and that's okay.
But Jason ain't doing PCP.
But Jason got hit by a steamroller in one of these, and he got up like it was nothing.
That was actually Roy.
A human, regular man got hit by a steamroller.
Who may have been possessed by Jason.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's just say he was possessed by Jason. So the entire time, Jason's been the killer.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. The evil spirit in Jason Voorhees has been the killer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This isn't just timeline now. We're also trying to figure out the evil of Jason.
Yep.
Because it's more fun.
So in my brain, he's kind of a Wendigo spirit.
Yeah. Well, there was a comic that established that, Crystal Lake was cursed.
Yeah, it was like a Native American.
It was a Native American curse. And that there would one day be a spirit of pure revenge.
Yeah, that's kind of what I always assumed was the story.
Yeah,
I was like, I've just missed the part in 2 or whatever where they talk about.
No, they never talk about this ever.
No,
you've seen all the movies. They never ever. Well,
you know what? I have seen all.
One of the movies does kind of hint at this, but we'll go into that in a minute because that's the next movie.
Okay, so it's 1992.
It's part 6. Jason gets now. Here's where things get messy.
Okay,
really messy. Jason gets chained to the bottom of Crystal Lake by a rock. Okay.
Okay. And you can
some point,
mm-hmm.
a young girl named Tina Shepard.
All right.
This is after part 6, so it could be 1992, possibly 1993. Gets into an argument with her father on the dock near her house. Don't ask me why there's a house there. Well, okay, I guess we have some time to establish that Crystal Lake was turned into a housing plan. So
in 92, it's no longer a camp.
Right, it's now a housing.
It's because they tried to rename it and that didn't work. So they said, "Fuck it, build a condominium around here."
Sure, and we could say that probably takes a year or so. It could be.
I mean, late 80s, early 90s, there was really a lot of suburban expansion. So yeah, okay.
We can jump to 1994.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1994, 2 years after Tommy Jarvis chained Jason to the bottom of the lake. Jason Voorhees is chilling down there. Tina Shepard gets into an argument with her father, saying, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. He falls down the dock and is buried. Now, this also, we see Jason in this scene. So it means Jason's been chilling there, just going, he's in sleep. Unless if I'm misremembering the movie, which I don't think I am. She then... 10 years later, so now we're in 2004. Goes onto the dock again. She has psychic powers, by the way.
Okay.
Just go with it. Never explain why.
Wait, so is the dad dead here?
Yes, he's dead.
Okay,
he died.
He drowned in the lake.
Yeah, he drowned in the lake. His body was never found, but he died. Tina returns home from a mental health facility and tries to raise the dock that I guess her father is buried under still, and then she wakes up Jason and frees him. In 2004.
I'm very confused about this dock structure, but okay.
Just don't worry about the dock. Don't worry about it. Sweetie.
Okay.
Just
right.
don't
I'll
worry about
rewatch the movie.
Look, don't worry about it. I could have it wrong. I could be, regardless if Jason's there or not.
She's trying to fish his body out.
Regardless if Jason's there or not is irrelevant. Yeah. When she was a child, Jason's there as an adult. So she raises, and he looks like he's been down there for a very long time.
He's got sea barnacles on his dick and whatnot.
He's got his hot, he's rotted away. He's his clothes are so we can say he's been down there for 10 years.
But like he should have been like skeleton.
He's still alive. And we'll find out later he's at regenerative purposes like Wolverine.
Yeah, I assumed that when I watched another movie. Someone's like, "No, you're wrong." I'm like, "How does he take an axe to the face unless he can regenerate?"
Fuck you.
I'm better at writing these movies than people are at watching them. Is what I'm getting from a lot of this. I've been always right, even though I don't know this franchise very well.
You have no idea how right you are about this stupid ass franchise. So now part 7 takes place in the summer of 2004. Nickelback is huge.
Just about to say that.
Nickelback is so terrible. It's like the second worst thing ever happened to Crystal Lake. Jason goes on a little murder spree as per usual, working out the old arthritis. It's buried under the lake again. Whoop-de-dee, fuck-de-doo, who cares? So now we get to part 8. What is part 8 about, Steve?
It's not the one where he goes to space.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay. And
but we're going to get there.
It's not the one where he chills out and does nothing all day. It's the one where he goes to New York?
Yepers.
Okay.
So in this timeline, a certain thing never happened.
Okay. What was that?
I'm not saying it because of YouTube.
Okay. So what year is it right now?
2005 now.
It's 2005 and certain structures of New York are still there.
Yep.
Okay. So 9/11 did not happen in this year.
Nope.
Okay.
You said not
so. Me. Somehow Jason prevented 9/11. Okay. So in cinematic universes, Kermit created 9/11.
What?
And Jason stopped it.
9/11.
Yeah. So see, in Muppets Taking Manhattan.
Oh God.
When that movie came out, you see, Kermit wishes that he was never born, and they already had the footage from like earlier.
Oh, God.
So when it came out in 2001 or 2002 or whatever,
oh God,
he wishes that he wasn't born and the Twin Towers are there, but in earlier segments the Twin Towers were not there, so Kermit caused 9/11.
And Jason saved 9/11.
Yes. Okay, so this is the world we're dealing with.
Oh,
Fun
God.
fact, this
Jesus.
is not the first time a media has accidentally predicted 9/11. Deus Ex predicted 9/11 because there wasn't enough data for the Twin Towers to be there, so they just got rid of them and said terrorist attack happened.
But we're not going to go into any of that. We're talking about our hockey mask.
So
apparently now,
so it's
Savior.
So it's 2005.
And one of the greatest horrific attacks in American soil has never happened.
Because Jason scared them away,
apparently.
I guess.
Jason Voorhees exists.
Maybe Hellraiser did something to Al-Qaeda. We don't know.
I'm just picturing Pinhead show. That would be... I'm surprised that never happened.
Well, I'm sorry. If you're a terrorist and you're going to blow something up and then some guy with needles in his face says, don't do it, man, I'm going to listen to that guy.
I'm going to listen to him because I don't know what that's all about.
It's like
especially if he wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Like if I know hell is real now, I'm going to be a good boy.
I'm like, all right, man, I don't know what your story's about, but I want to find out.
Okay, so...
Anyway, so Jason Voorhees is awoken by a power line that is dragging across the bottom of the lake, which is now a river.
Huh?
Just go along. Go along. Don't question this.
Well, okay, so some lakes are still attached
but
to rivers.
This has never been that way.
It's always been an enclosed... Well,
yes.
I mean...
We see in every
He'd have
movie...
to go upstream then, because, like...
Nope.
There'd have to be...
Nope, he's still under the dock, so... Just... Like the dock structure, and like Tommy's age...
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter here.
Okay.
Anymore.
So, a power line electrocutes his ass alive.
Awake.
Okay.
Yeah. Gives him a jolt. He swims back up. Yes, he can swim now. Well, he can swim in part 6, but now he's like an Olympic level swimmer because we're going to get to how and why in a minute. I'm full filibuster now.
Okay.
Patton Oswalt filibuster from Parks and Rec. Anyway.
He predicted everything.
Yes. He really did, and it's terrifying. So Jason Voorhees gets on a boat, kills two...
Just gets on the nearest boat.
Well, he gets on the little boat first. He kills the 2 teenagers, takes a hockey mask that looks mysterious.
Oh no!
Whatever, worry about that later. Stuff fell. Not gonna worry about it right now. Just Jason did it. So
Yeah.
Jason then apparently just jumps off, swims around a lake, and then gets on a cruise liner.
Sure.
Mind you, this was a little boy who was afraid of swimming.
And
And now as a zombie, he's like, fuck it, I can't die. I have crazy shit happen to me. Why not?
so he somehow gets on
A cruise liner.
it's not exactly a cruise.
No,
liner.
it's a cruise liner to New York.
It's a cruise liner.
Yes.
Okay.
For the high school graduating class of Crystal Lake.
But they're in New Jersey. Okay, so they're in New Jersey. So
Yes. They're
so
in New Jersey.
let's assume it's like a
Bro, it's a cruise liner.
let's assume it's like a 40-minute boat ride up to Manhattan.
But it's not. It takes like 3 days to get there, it seems. No, it's like probably takes all night. So they're on the boat.
Okay.
Jason goes around killing people.
Time has no meaning.
Time has no meaning. Time is a construct only by Jason Voorhees' creation now.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees is God. He's transcended mortal planes.
Okay.
So we're going to get to Freddy versus Jason in a little bit.
Sure.
We're going to get to that. And how that makes no fucking sense in the timeline.
No, it doesn't. All right, so
Jason kills a bunch of people, goes to New York.
So he's in New York. He hangs out in 80s New York.
In 2005.
Yes, this is very like leather jackets and regular 80s music. Like the one guy's got a fucking boombox
Yeah, and he kicks it. It's a great scene.
because
Jason's like, I don't listen to that shit.
I guess that motherfucker couldn't get his iPod that day. So they were
Yeah. Wait a minute. Technology has regressed, and culture has never changed.
No, so in horror movie world, no matter what year it is, it's always 80s New York.
Yeah.
That's the thing of horror.
And Batman hasn't come out yet because there's a poster for Batman, the original Batman, in that movie. There's a poster.
The 89 Batman?
The 89 Batman.
Okay, so
The 89 Batman is now in 2005, which means the superhero genre has also not happened.
yeah, I mean, Iron Man's going to be real. Iron Man comes out right now, today.
Spider-Man just came out like 5 years ago.
Yeah, by this standard of time. Tobey Maguire is still in his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still actually in.
Well, I mean,
Anyways.
we have to assume now. Okay, would they still be the same actors, or would they be different actors now?
Let's just say all of those actors were born a little later.
Okay, because again, Jason Voorhees is a time construct.
Yeah, so Robert Downey Jr.
Gets his start actually in the 90s.
He's just about to sign on to
Iron Man.
or Hail Caesar or something. I don't.
We're getting off track.
Yeah.
So Jason Voorhees, literal time god,
Yes.
gets melted at the end of part 8 and regresses into a child.
Yeah. Okay. So explain this part to me.
I have no explanation.
He gets hit with like sewer acid.
Yes, he gets hit with sewer acid in New York.
Like it's a fucking video game.
Yeah, and he gets melted.
Well, you know what? It is New York, so
He melts.
fine. He gets hit with like rat piss and like becomes a child again.
So that part I've always assumed was just like a hallucination of the main character because she had a supernatural encounter with Jason.
That and she just huffed a lot of sewer
Yeah,
gas.
so she's probably hallucinating him. So what actually really may have happened was he washed out of New York like the Joker when he falls into the tank of chemicals and washes out.
Yeah.
It's like that, but in New York, washes back to Crystal Lake. The mask is fused to his face. He gets all swollen and ugly and big.
He's
A year later,
Yep.
a year later,
A year.
we're going to assume a year. We're going to assume that takes place in
2006.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a reason why we have to stay within these certain parts of the timeline. We'll get to that in the next movie.
Okay.
So now it's part 9. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. We're not really going to go over like how long this movie takes place. It does literally just tell you it's been a few days. Okay? But we're now in 2006.
Okay.
The FBI blows up Jason Voorhees because they are afraid of his time god powers. The look on your face.
We're still in. Is this the end of the movie that they
No,
do
it's the beginning.
This
They
is
blow
the
'em up.
beginning when they have the sting operation with the FBI.
Yeah, they blow him up.
And this is 9 and not 10.
This is part 9. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
I'm pretty sure this is part 10.
Nope, this is part 9, brother.
This is when they.
Baby, this is part 9.
Okay. So I watched 9 and 10, and they're just the same movie to me.
No,
Okay.
they're not. Because did Jason possess people in part 10? No. Part 9, he turned into. You see his true form revealed.
I thought he possessed people in part 8
No.
in Manhattan.
No.
No?
No. That wasn't even his final form. His real final form is a bug. So it's like reverse Cell.
Okay.
You know how like it starts off with like imperfect cell and it goes to perfect cell?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like reverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jason starts off as like peak Jason, like human Jason, I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
Dies, zombie. Okay, he's not cash money, but he's doing all right.
Okay.
Then he regresses into a baby worm demon.
Huh. I don't think I saw this movie.
You haven't.
I think I saw the FBI blow him up and assumed that was the opening to 10.
Nope.
Because they blow him up
Nope.
and then throw his ass into a freezer.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Do they repeat this opening in 10?
No. In 10, I'll get to the opening in 10, but it does involve the army.
Oh, the army blows his ass up. In
Well,
that one.
okay, no. The FBI blows him up in part 9.
Okay.
In 10, he's in a military base.
Yeah, I must have watched the beginning of 9.
You zoned out at some point.
I watched the beginning of 9 and then
assumed it was part of 10.
And then I guess 10 must have just the DVR fucked. I don't know.
Whatever. It don't matter. None of this matters. Other than Jason Voorhees has now been regressed down to his true form, which is Baby Worm Demon. Baby Worm Demon possesses some people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that he's a baby worm demon.
Just let me talk. Don't think.
Okay.
Don't think here. Okay, you're in my world.
Okay.
Now. Look at me.
So he's possessing people.
He's possessing people.
It's 2006.
It's 2006. Could take place in June 6, 2006. 666. No, probably not. Anyway.
No, probably yeah.
Probably. Fuck you. We're gonna say it takes place there.
Yeah.
Fuck Friday the 13th now. It's not. It hasn't been on Friday the 13th in ages.
Well, I mean, it only comes out like it's very unpredictable to put.
So we're going to assume that he hasn't killed people on Friday the 13th in a very long time.
Was that like a set rule or?
Well, I mean, the movies are called Friday the 13th.
I think they just use that for marketing purposes.
Probably, because again, 2, 3, and 4 don't play, or 3 and 4 don't take place on Friday the 13th.
No, like he's killing people way into the weekend.
He's like, yeah, man, I'm a weekend warrior.
Yeah. Like it is the 16th, and my blade is ready to go.
So I mean, I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not done. We're killing.
Yeah.
All right. So now in 2006, we find out some shenanigans. Jason had a half sister. Jason also has a niece who has a kid who he wants to possess to get his body back. So it's kind of like Charles Lee Ray a little bit with Chucky, like that. But just don't ask me questions.
Had Chucky come out yet?
Chucky had come out in '88.
Okay, so they're ripping off Chucky.
They're ripping off the Chuck Man.
Okay,
they're ripping off Charles. So, but yeah. So there was also like some sort of prophecy with this. Now there's an ancient dagger involved.
Why the fuck not?
Why fuck you? Why not? And props to the guy who wrote and directed. This is like his first movie, but he was trying something different. Why not? Behind the scenes, he was told to make something different. He made something different.
He's like, we're in part 9. Just fucking do something.
Literally get him away from the camp.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at the end of the movie, Jason's destroyed with the dagger and is sent to hell, and he's officially dead. Or is he? Freddy Krueger's glove, I shit you not, comes out, grabs the hockey mask, pulls it in, laughing.
Yes, I remember the scene. Yes.
Okay, cool. It's an awesome scene. Now, in context of our world, Jason X came out next.
Okay.
However, it doesn't make sense in his timeline for it to come out next.
Because he just shows up.
He just shows up.
So let's assume they were planning on making...
Nope.
No, they weren't?
Nope. They literally only made Jason X to give some folks something to do while they were making Freddy vs. Jason.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is that they were planning on making the next movie Freddy versus Jason, but it was...
Jason X that came out.
Yeah, it was rights problem, so they're like, we just make
more like they couldn't get a script sealed in.
Because I remember there was a Freddy versus... I mean, I remember it being a child.
And Freddy vs. Jason was like
the thing, and then they already said like there's already another script where Michael shows up and Ash kills them all.
No, never happened, but that sounds... What the
Damn.
fuck? Shit is just falling. Jason's ghost is here.
That's what I was thinking. Like, Ghost is mad, throwing your toys around.
God damn. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. So, Jason X has a. We'll get to Jason X in a minute. Freddy vs. Jason takes place now in 2007.
It's 2007, right?
I'm only going off a year because that's just the easiest way to explain this shit.
It is possibly 2007.
It could still be in 2006. We don't know how long Jason's been dead.
Okay.
But considering that Freddy said he searched the bowels of hell, sounding like it took him a while to find Jason, we can assume that's at least anywhere from 2006 to 2008.
Let's assume. All right, for right now, let's say it's been a year.
Okay, we'll go off the year.
So
rule.
they're saying that Freddy. Okay, so in X, in Freddy vs. Jason, we can flesh this out a bit more.
Right.
So everyone there is wearing early 2000s clothes.
Yes. Now it's actually in the 2000s. The movie came out in 2003.
Okay, so the movie does not take place in 2003. We've already established we're far behind that.
We are way into the future in a different world from our world.
Yeah. So let's see now. Freddy needs Jason because they've forgotten about
Freddy. So Freddy takes on the form of Jason's mother to manipulate Jason into coming back into life. Because I guess that's just how that works.
There's like a little piece of him left, so he's regenerating from that.
Yes. However, I've always had this theory about why Jason looks so different from Jason Goes to Hell Jason. Freddy has a lot of powers, right?
Yeah.
He has a ton of powers. He only is going off of what he assumed Jason looked like. Because he's bound to have heard of him.
Yeah.
Right? So he resurrected Jason with his powers into a form suitable for Jason and that Freddy recognized him in.
Yeah.
So that's how Jason comes back looking like the way he does.
Yeah, well, yeah, he looks more like a classical version of himself.
Of himself. Jason's like, ooh, new mask, neat.
Yeah. So let's think. Is there any context clues for how long?
No.
How long
Kruger's been dead?
Yeah.
I mean, they do say that like Kruger's been a thing. They say that
some of those kids are still in the mental hospital, right?
Well, they don't establish what happened to any of the Dream Warriors or anything like that. Because Freddy killed a lot of people. We can go into the Nightmare on Elm Street timeline, which is way crazier than Jason's.
Yeah.
Way crazier than
like,
Jason's.
Those kids are still teens when they should be like 30.
It has nothing to do with that at that point. Like, it goes farther, supposedly, than Jason's.
I mean, it doesn't have to do with like 12th century demons or some shit.
That's in New Nightmare, which won't count in the timeline.
Okay, all right. So that's some new shit. Okay.
New Nightmare is like if a demon. It was about. It wasn't necessarily Freddy Krueger in the movie. It was a demon taking on Freddy Krueger's appearance.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
It was different. It was cool.
Yeah. So let's just assume that it is like 2007.
Nickelback ruled the world.
I swear I saw a kid playing like OG Halo in that, but I could be wrong.
Well, so like, I mean, there's like raves.
Yeah, it's very 2003.
But it's 2007.
Yeah.
Fuck
Which,
you.
a lot of that stuff was still going around.
Yeah, I mean, the 2000s just kind of stopped with time.
Yeah.
So there's no real context clues other than Freddy's been dead for years.
Yeah.
Which could mean that Freddy's dead happened before Jason Goes to Hell, and that chronologically that is true. Freddy's Dead was the last movie to have actual Freddy Krueger in it, not kind of New Nightmare.
Yeah.
So Freddy's Dead came out in 91, Freddy vs. Jason came out in 2003. Jason Goes to Hell came out in 1993.
Yeah.
So Freddy's Dead we'll say happened around like a little bit. We'll say it happened in 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. So Freddy's been dead since like 2000, right?
Okay.
Springwood has literally moved on from him.
Yeah.
They've erased all records of him. They've erased
they're
all
drugging
data.
all the kids.
They drug all the kids. So they don't dream about him or they don't hear about him. They don't hear nothing. So he resurrects Jason, somehow gives Jason geography skills to get to Ohio.
Well, let's say he resurrects him. Wait, no, he resurrects by that lake, doesn't he? Yeah, he does.
He has to.
So he's hitchhiking a fucking ride to halfway across the country.
You know who picked him up?
Who?
Michael.
Okay.
Michael Myers picks him up.
Yeah, because he can drive. Yeah.
Oh, Michael can drive, but or we cheat here. We say that Crystal Lake is in the same state as Springwood.
Even though it's firmly in New Jersey.
Yes. They do say Ohio in a few of the movies, but we can just cheat here, and we're going to have to because at one point the teenagers drive from Springwood to Crystal Lake with Jason's body.
And
How do you cross state lines with the body of a resurrected serial killer?
it's very easy, as long as
He's in the back seat.
Yeah, but he's asleep. They keep drugging his ass.
No, he's fine. He's not. Who's your friend there?
No, you're not gonna get. You can travel from New York to California and never see a cop once.
That is true.
Like,
They were kind of speeding. So imagine getting pulled over by a cop, and they're like, "Hey, what's that smell?"
don't worry about it, man. It's not weed. So
Open
don't
the
worry
back.
about it. Yeah, no.
Open the back. What is this?
Don't worry about it.
It's not Jason. Is that Jason Voorhees?
Is that a dead body?
Of Jason Voorhees? What the fuck you kids into?
Halloween. Don't worry about it.
It's like July.
Don't worry about
Halloween in July, baby.
it. Yeah. I don't know.
What the hell?
Summerween, bitch.
Actually, this doesn't take place in summer because school is active.
So it's like September 2007.
Yeah, September 2007. So Jason's murder spree goes over a couple of days. It looks like in the movie only like 3 or 4 days he kills a bunch of people. Him and Freddy fight.
This has got to be like less than a week's worth, if not a week.
Yeah, at the worst, it's like a week.
Yeah.
Him and Freddy fight. Crystal Lake blows the fuck up, basically. Freddy gets his head chopped off.
Yeah, he gets
by the
Highlandered.
chick. He gets a lot of people get Highlandered in this franchise, just so you know.
Racial lines were said, and he was booed, and he's like,
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
well, because she calls him the bad F word, and then he's
The chick from TLC, right?
yeah, and then he calls her dark meat, and the audience boos, and like Freddy's like, oh, but I can kill people, but
Oh, but y'all are okay with me killing kids.
But okay, so racial joke's not all right, but me murdering people, okay, fuck you, you're all hypocrites. And
Fuck you. Oh, you let Jason kill people, and there's no problem with him. Jason's just sitting there reading a magazine,
yeah,
waving.
but I don't racially profile. Wow,
Jason's like, look, brother, I kill everybody. I kill everybody. I possess a gay guy.
So, yeah, he gets his head chopped off, and
He gets Highlandered,
and then
Jason just kind of
wanders into the.
So what
lake.
happens is that like Jason gets his ass kicked. Freddy gets stabbed through the chest with his own arm, which is dope as fuck by Jason.
Yeah.
Jason's just like, all right, I'm gonna go chill in the lake. The chick then decapitates Freddy with a terrible line. I forget what it is. Who cares? She didn't say there can be only one.
No, but it probably used the word bitch.
She did.
Yeah,
I remember that part. I remember
Like that.
that's Freddy's favorite word.
Yeah.
Literally, there's a supercut out there
look
of him
look,
saying it.
I mean, that's why Scary Terry says it every other word in Rick and Morty, because
It's literally
that's all people know about Freddy is that he
says the word bitch a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. So 2007 happens. Kids are still raving and they're happy because 9/11 has not happened.
Freddy, like I said, is salty about not only Jason being a Time Lord,
Yeah,
but Jason apparently saved the goddamn universe.
yeah, because he was gonna like let all of hell out or something.
Yeah, Freddy's like, I mean, I had a plan. You ruined it by
Like he was gonna become like an all powerful being and like kill everyone
I think that was
or
Freddy's.
something.
So we'll get into Freddy Krueger one day. Because there's a lot of lore behind Freddy and how he died and made deals with demons.
Yeah,
And how Hellraiser may have been involved with that.
I feel like it was gonna be a Hellraiser movie at one point.
What, Freddy?
Yeah.
Well, Freddy came out before Hellraiser. Hellraiser came out in the late 80s. Freddy came out, Nightmare came out in 84.
And I'll tell you all this right now. We might talk about 5 of those Hellraiser movies at most. We are not talking about all 10 of those fucking movies.
We're not doing that. Because half of them don't even have poor Pinhead in them.
So it's September 2007. They're both dead, and then they're going surprised neither of us are dead.
So at some point, Jason's captured. Now, here's how we know the year. The movie tells us it's 2010. So over 3 years, Jason's alive.
He's just chilling out at the lake.
And at some point, he's been captured. And now there's a research facility at Crystal Lake.
Yeah, because they're trying to harness the power of a super soldier.
Which sounds like an amazing plot.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do with this guy?
And they just put his ass on ice.
So, to kind of wrap this up, because, I mean, the timeline was getting more specific than 2010 and then 2455. Jason gets frozen because he can't manipulate time or save the universe. The world ended.
Yeah.
And he's found by a research team along with some
exploring original planet that we came from. In what year was it?
2455.
24. Okay,
so he's been frozen.
That's a reasonable distance away.
Yeah, and Freddy's, I guess, not fucking with him anymore. I don't know what's up with Freddy.
So you're telling me that he's been able to maintain a frozen state despite this entire planet being shut?
Yes.
For 400 years.
Yes.
That's some good government contract.
Right? If I was Jason, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, wow,
I figured
really?
he would have like
just been wandering the earth.
Like 40 years at most after...
Nope, 400 years, baby.
After, like, that place goes defunct and they're all gone.
Nope, 2455. And the earth is gone. The earth is destroyed.
They tried to, like, destroy him, right? And then they're like, well, all we can do is freeze his
Yeah, they mentioned that they've hung him, they've electrocuted him, they shot him, stabbed him, lit him on fire.
Like he's just an immortal being
He's
somehow.
just like, well, he's literally the whole time just like,
yeah, because like at this point, he is just some sort of undead immortal.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, he's fought a dream demon and won.
Yeah. Like hell does not want him.
Hell is like, I do not want this man. Leave him there. He causes problems. He takes up space and he smells.
Yeah.
Leave him there.
So he gets chucked to
5455.
55.
And then the rest of the movie is history because it's just Alien but with Jason.
Yeah, like he goes around
and he becomes a cyborg.
Yeah, he gets cybernetics. He kills the last stoner
ever.
Because apparently we're still going to be 90s stoners in 2455. Doesn't he get yeeted into the sun?
Yes, he gets yeeted. Well, he gets yeeted by a guy who's totally not wearing a Master Chief costume.
Oh, I was about to say, like, Black Master...
Master Chief basically...
Like Sergeant Johnson fucking owns this bitch.
Yeah, there's a really awesome black guy. I cannot remember. I think his name was Brodsky or something like that. Fucking wrecks Jason.
I just called him Sergeant Johnson the whole time.
So I think his name was like Brodsky or something like that. Brodsky gets stabbed by Jason. He's like, pussy move. And like, you think he's dead. But no, he gets into like a Master Chief outfit, fights Jason, fucking wrecks him, and yeets him into like another planet.
Like, he's like, you and me are going to die together. And like, they either go into the sun or like they burn up in the atmosphere.
They burn up in the atmosphere of Earth too.
Okay.
Oh, and we established not only is Jason a Time Lord, of any of the slashers ever, ever, he has the highest body count.
Yeah.
Because he destroys an entire space station that is full of people.
Oh, that was full of people?
Yeah.
I figured that was just like a research station.
No,
that was like...
man, that was full of people. He destroyed an entire colony.
Wow.
Jason Voorhees
got stacks like hardwood, man.
Imagine like Freddy, Michael, Chucky, Leatherface, they're all just hanging out.
They got
talking body counts and Jason just comes out.
They got like
big dick energy. He's like, you got nothing. Bam.
Like Michael's got like what, like 100 some people at this point, maybe.
He's got like 180.
Yeah,
throughout the timelines.
And like Jason's like, I got like 1.4 million.
Like, the fuck you, Mike? Get out of here.
Like, I got a whole.
Leatherface is like, well, because you could argue that like Leatherface would have the biggest body count of them because of the Sawyers and all that. Like,
yeah, but how many of them are already dead?
We don't know. Freddy might have the biggest one.
Oh, he killed
because he killed children before he was alive.
In order
before
for
he died.
For Leatherface to have more, he'd have to have killed like all of Texas.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Leatherface is probably bomb bitch.
So then there are more after 10. But
there's only one more. It's a remake.
It's 2010 remake,
which doesn't count because it's not part of any timeline.
No, it's just a remake of Part 1.
Yeah,
with like parts of like.
So I kind of call it the greatest hits of parts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, because there's a psychic child.
Nope.
Isn't
No psychic.
Isn't there a bald kid with psychic abilities?
No.
Are you
What
sure?
movie did you see?
I swear that was. I only saw the clips. I didn't see.
There's no bald kid with psychic powers, man.
I swear. Like,
One of the brothers from Supernatural is
yeah, it was
Sam.
yeah, Sam. No,
So,
instead of watching that one, I saw My Bloody Valentine with Dean in
God.
it. I liked it.
Poor Sam and Dean.
Look, they were smart. They're like
They were smart. They were
like,
branching. They were doing
if we're
smart
gonna
stuff.
branch, let's start with established horror franchises,
And let's do like kind of lore. But they were smart. They're smart guys.
And now
God
look
bless
at them. They both have their own TV shows.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, one's Walker, Texas. The other one's Piss Boy Soldier on The Boys.
Yep. God bless him.
Which, why is he not playing like Piss Boy? Like Soldier Boy's supposed to be like a pants pissing coward.
He's like, I'm not doing that.
Like, no, we're you know what? That's stupid. We're change it.
We're making you
No
evil.
one's gonna watch Jason
Jensen Ackles do that. No.
Yeah, no.
And even he's like, I'm not doing that.
I'll do it like once.
I'll do it like maybe one time. That's about it. But I'm not doing that.
Okay, so like
That's about a wrap.
we go from 1954.
1950. Well, we're talking about from when the first murders happened.
Let's just go from Jason's birth in
46.
1946. Really?
He was 11. If he died in 1957,
Okay.
that means when he was 11 years old, that means he was born in 1946.
So he's a silent generation.
Yeah, man.
Like, he's not even a boomer. He's a silent generation.
Yeah, man.
He's a grandpa in that. He's a dead grandpa right now.
If you're doing the math, Jason's like 80 by now.
Well, no, he'd be like.
So
older
when
than
he
that.
died, he was like in his 30s, but like as a human adult. Oh no, he was in like
Yeah,
close to 40.
his body.
No, he was 38 when he died
Yeah, which
as a human adult.
so we go from 46 to 2455.
In the course of 10 movies.
That's a big number jump.
We established a few things along the way.
That's 1,000 years.
Yeah, I know. I love this franchise. I love this stupid ass franchise. It's great.
That is like almost 1,000 years. Almost.
It's over 1,000 years, man.
It's like 500 years.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It's almost. Math
Yeah.
is now no longer work after I've established that Jason's literally a time god.
Yeah.
Time has no meaning to Jason Voorhees.
500 some years. So okay, but all right. I still don't know. How does he go from an 11-year-old boy who drowns to be like a 30-year-old man? Other than he's
So there is a fan theory that the remake kind of played into.
that I'm right and that he's a venge spirit.
Partially.
Okay.
The theory suggested that he didn't die.
Because
He wound up on the other side of the lake, couldn't figure out how to get home, and was just living in the woods for like 30 years.
because he had mental problems. So
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just like that that California group that like got lost in the mountains randomly.
Yeah.
Those kids were all like unspecific mental issues.
Oh, they weren't California. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they
weren't California, though.
It was in California. Yeah, they were like in the L.A. area.
Yeah.
And they
You're
went.
talking about, like, those older guys?
Yeah, they were like 20-something-year-olds.
And, like, they were at a basketball thing.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't California.
It was California.
Nevada.
No, it was California.
No, because there was snow.
Yeah. No, there's.
Dude, oh, man.
Yeah, it was California.
Called. Oh, shit. I
No,
know the name.
But it is California. Yeah, no, I recently looked it up. It was California. It was very close to L.A.
Anyway, yeah, so, like, if you go with that theory, or if you just go with the theory that after Pamela died, the vengeance moved to him. She died near the lake. He died in the lake. The lake is evil. The lake is the real villain of this franchise.
Yeah, like my theory, since like I came to that franchise so late that like I'm like, okay, so he dies in all of these. So
He doesn't die in all of them.
I
He's just
assumed
defeated.
I assumed he died in all of them. I knew he got really messed up. I didn't know Roy, so I saw the guy get hit by a steamroller. I saw him get hit by an axe, and I saw him get literally destroyed in
Hell.
in 10, and
You
then
mean part 9, where like the missile blows him up or something?
no, I mean in 10, where he like gets like
Oh, through the
atmosphere.
atmosphere, yeah.
And then I assumed Freddy versus Jason took place on Earth 2, where they just like reset to the 90s, because that's how sometimes that's how colonies work. You just have to reset to. So
But they explain Freddy Krueger.
Any Elm Street. He said any Elm Street.
Every town, he does say any town has an Elm Street.
Yeah, like that implied that.
Does that mean that he's just going across planets?
It means that he could. If there's an Elm Street on Gazorpazorp, he's
God.
there.
He goes to Tatooine. He's like, there's an Elm Street here.
Yeah, you're on it. Stab. Oh, damn it. Should don't know.
All right, I'm getting off this hot ass planet.
Is there
There's a Hoth. This isn't in the Star Wars universe.
Is there an Elm Street here? There's a main street. Good enough.
How is there even any streets here? It's all snow.
Well, I mean, the plow's not.
He goes to Coruscant and he's like, he can't figure out any of the streets. It's like, there's no streets here.
We don't need fucking streets here. It's a dirt planet. Fuck you.
Coruscant was like the city planet.
Oh yeah, fuck you. It's just
Cities,
fucking. We know our way around. Fuck you.
He's like, but is there an Elm Street? What the hell's an elm?
We have no trees here. We're aliens.
He's like, what the fuck? Actually, I'm a Jedi. You are an evil spirit.
I think Star Wars fight evil spirits, right? They fight evil spirits all the time.
The dark side, yeah. So, like, yeah, Freddy would be interesting in a Star Wars universe.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be, like, boring.
Yeah, they'd be like dark, like he goes up to, like, a Jedi, they're like, who the fuck are you?
Like some 12-year-old with a fucking bright sword
Like,
kills his ass.
He's just like, who are you? Get out of here.
So that was dumb.
Yes, it was. I am so happy I wasted your time.
Yes, you wasted, good God, like an hour of my time.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the stupid timeline. So let's recap. Okay, so in universe, this story takes place from 1946 to 2455 about.
Yes.
And in
all right, let's omit 2455 because that's kind of cheating. 2010.
Okay, so at minimum 2010.
Yeah.
No, you know what? No, fuck it. For 2455. Okay.
All right, we're bringing that back in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's back in.
So that's when this story takes place. Okay. Which is wild because all of these are trying to tell you these all take place between
in the 80s.
1979 to
1988.
Like 96 at most. To 2003.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what
if
what
you do
saying.
math, man, you pay attention to certain castings and how old certain people are.
And then Freddy Krueger,
his timeline's all over the place.
Yeah, and then but you know what,
his timeline though is probably the most solid of the timelines
because like they have like dates and all that.
Kind of, because like most of the cast like carried over.
Yeah,
it gets a little bit funky around like 2 and like 6. It gets a little bit weird. But 4 and 5 are like literally a year apart from each other.
Yeah.
Because unlike Jason or Michael, he's not pigeonholed to a certain date in time.
Yeah.
And also theoretically speaking, Freddy Krueger can transcend time, literally.
I mean, theoretically, like Freddy is the one that like could just keep going because like I just
he's
keep
like
coming
he's
back.
Dead. He's
as
a ghost.
long as somebody fucking
is dreaming.
Like, you know how they could bring him back right now? Some dickheads bring up a true crime podcast about his
Oh my
ass.
god, that would be brilliant.
And then he's just killing people all over the bitch.
Oh my god, why isn't no one doing it? Why are we not funding this?
I'm sure someone...
I'm just picturing Peter Griffin just saying like, why are we not funding this?
I'm sure somebody's like, well, what if we did that for the next... Nightmare. And someone's going like, no one wants to see that fucker. Robert Englund doesn't want to do it. Fuck off.
No, he said he'd do it if the script was right.
And he's like, yeah.
He's like, I got one more in me.
I don't think I can kill Zoomers the way I kill Boomers. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
He seems like he'd have fun with it though.
Yeah.
One last ride.
Yeah.
And then wait until I tell you about the Halloween timeline.
Well, the Halloween timeline's pretty solid,
but
if you follow the current one,
if you follow the current timeline,
because it takes place in what 74, and then and then like the last couple of years,
not 74, 78, 2018. 2018, and it's supposed to be like a 5-year time jump. So like
they're gonna do a 5-year time jump.
Yeah, from like apparently it's a time jump from kills to ends.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's a little bit stupid.
But Halloween Kills was also really dumb, so I
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Not as dumb as the Curse of Thorns shit,
Oh, that was really dumb.
but I can't wait to get into Halloween in the multiverse of Michael Myers.
Oh god, right? Because there's like multiple, like
There's multiple timelines.
It's like Terminator. Like fuck it, this one didn't happen, and then this one's after 2. That one didn't happen. This one's actually after 2.
Let me think here. All right, so that's one timeline. That's 2 timelines. That's 3 timelines so far.
Okay.
And I'm only midway through the franchise.
Okay.
Um,
He's using advanced math on a corkboard, folks.
yeah, hold on, let me think.
He's using irrational numbers.
Let me think. God damn it, I'm losing my place. Shut up. God, fuck you. Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. So that's 4 timelines.
Okay.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Okay.
That's just one solid timeline.
Okay.
And then the new timeline, which is 6 timelines.
Okay. So there's 2 of them just because in 3...
3's its own thing.
Because like it's literally a movie in that movie,
Right.
which is stupid, but I love it.
It's awesome. Halloween 3 is awesome. If you don't like Halloween 3, you can't be a friend of this channel.
So I think the next one of these we'll have to do is me explaining quantum physics or something to you.
And I'm just like, whatever, man.
You know what I've always wanted? It'll never happen.
What?
Is Wilson explaining Kingdom Hearts to us?
Why? Yeah, why won't that happen?
I tried to ask him one time and he just gave me the middle finger and said, "There's your answer." And I said, "Okay."
What you do is like a short.
Yeah, okay.
Wilson explains Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks everyone
For listening to my bizarre ranting.
We're gonna get these nice men in white coats are here for you with your medicine.
Hey, Paul.
So we're gonna get him nice and medicated, and hopefully we'll get back to regular movies. What's our next movie?
I don't know.
All right, we'll figure that one out later. Bye.